Here I am back in my chair. I wanted to make a little update video for my weight loss stuff. Sorry if I keep looking over that way. The kids are in the yard filling up their pool because it's 80 degrees out today. The first time we've had like hot weather this spring. Alright, so it's been exactly a year since I started working on weight loss, and I have lost 60 pounds, almost exactly. So I just wanted to give myself like a reference for what I've been doing, how long it took me to do it. Not that I'll forget. I mean, I feel proud of myself, and also like I could have done more. It's kind of a weird, I don't know, mind F with weight loss. And I know like a lot of people get pretty triggered by like the scale, and I'm sorry, there's planes going over that are really low. But okay, so I know a lot of people get triggered by like looking at the scale, but really for me it's been a great tool. So I've lost 60 pounds. I have used the scale as a tool for me to know how much weight I've lost. Let's see how many times I can start and stop this video because of toddlers. Anyway, so for me, one of the craziest things about this weight loss is when I look in the mirror, I feel like I look exactly the same. In fact, sometimes I feel like I look bigger. So I know that I'm not the same and I'm not bigger because A, the scale tells me that I've lost 60 pounds, and B, I've gone down like 2 sizes in clothing, which is obviously like a big indicator. But it's weird what your brain does to yourself when you look in the mirror, but whatever. You know, I don't let that get me down because I know that I've put in the work and that I'm healthier and that I can go on walks and do more and feel like more energized. Even within like the first couple weeks to the first month of like going on a diet and changing my lifestyle, really not really a diet per se, just let me tell you, as an overeater, doing things to change your eating habits can be a real eye-opener. And I think one of my biggest helpers has been social media for me. I know that everybody's different and everybody's gonna like find inspiration or something that, you know, is more difficult in different places. For me, I watched a lot of fitness people on YouTube and follow fitness people on Instagram, and I had no idea about fitness. So tools for me were extremely helpful, especially with people who had the mentality that I had to like adopt for myself, was like every day is a new day. And I haven't completely cut out bad things. I mean, obviously I've only lost 60 pounds. There's people that, you know, in a couple months lose that, or over the course of a year lose 100 or more pounds. Here's the thing. I knew that wasn't going to be me. I love dessert and I love chocolate. And if we go somewhere, like, I don't want to miss out necessarily because of dietary restrictions. However, I am much more conscious about everything that I eat. I'm not a big drinker. I used to drink a lot more like in my early 20s and stuff, but even since before we had kids and we were just like working and I was going to school and things like that, I just didn't drink very much. Usually it was like an occasion thing where something was happening. So for me, I didn't really have to cut out alcohol because I probably have like a glass of hard cider once every like 2 weeks or so. And but for me, I loved pop. Like, I loved pop. Look at you. Yeah, you're doing a good job. You're all wet. So one big thing that helped me to drink water, because like I was one of those people where it just didn't appeal to me. Sometimes it did. Sometimes I would have days where I would do awesome and then like I would have a pop craving. I love Mio, which I know probably is a whole nother can of worms because of artificial sweeteners, artificial colors. There's not aspartame in it. I don't really know what the other thing is, but usually in the morning I will fill up my 28-ounce cup of water and put in Mio with caffeine and B12 vitamins. And I feel like, I don't know if caffeine really does that much for me. I've never been one to like notice like an increase in energy from drinking caffeine, but I think psychologically it's been something to help me start my day, where like some people have coffee and it's like that boost of energy to get moving. That really like helped me. It also completely curbed my cravings for pop. I have like a cup that I drink me a lot of. And then if I just have regular water, I drink it out of like a cup from home. Like my Mio I have in like a shaker bottle just because that's what I had it. I don't know why I have like my designated items for things. I've recently, very recently added in collagen peptides into my diet, and my knees are super weak, and I've really been interested in running, and I've talked about that in other videos, like dabbling, but a few reasons where I've struggled with it through my weight loss is, number one, having a large chest and like just your body. And this is where people on YouTube and Instagram help me out a lot, like with compression items. I don't buy a lot for myself, but I decided to purchase like some compression leggings and capris and more compressive tops, and it definitely helps for movement when you're trying to walk or run. So that was something that helped a lot, but my knees also are really crappy, and I err on the side of caution until I've lost more weight to do too much impact to them. So for me, the biggest benefit has been walking with a steady incline on the treadmill, which, you know, it's neither here nor there, but man, these kids. But anyway, just getting started with the mentality of every day is a new day really helped me out, because I know that like through the holidays and stuff. See, here's the one thing, and I'm not saying like I'm an expert or I like beat the system somehow, but I never have gained weight, with the exception of like some water weight here and there. I've always made sure I at least maintained. If we are having like a holiday and I knew I was going to partake in items that were more calorically dense and I didn't want to gain weight from it, you know, what I've done that I've never done in the past was choose other items throughout the day that were a healthier option. Sometimes I've foregone a meal. I by no means starve myself, but I have included during all large expanses of time doing intermittent fasting. I haven't always stuck to it perfectly. Like, you know, we were just up in the UP visiting my parents, and my mom would make breakfast and she makes delicious omelets. I'm not going to not eat it, because guess what, we're gonna come home and not have that anymore. So having that for 1 or 2 days isn't something that like you should forego or like think crazily about, because tomorrow's another day. You get home and you just start again. And hey, I love chocolate. My husband brings home a candy bar, I'll probably eat it. But at the same time, I've allotted myself throughout the day calories where like if nighttime comes and I want something, then I can have it because I still have time. And I either will maintain my weight or I will have lost weight, because I've eaten salads and I've eaten in a caloric deficit that still doesn't make me feel starving. Like, I'll eat huge salads because you can eat a lot of lettuce and it's not gonna affect you, but I make sure I have a good amount of protein. I have like a diverse mixture of vegetables on it. Sometimes I'll add in fruit. A good thing for me has been like eggs, like 2 scrambled eggs with like sauteed vegetables. And that is a low calorie meal that can fill you up. I mean, I'll still have carbs. I still have a slice of bread here and there. And hey, maybe I would have lost more weight had I cut that out. But I enjoy it, and I've lost weight and felt good doing those things. So I'm hoping over this next year that I can basically duplicate what I've done. So if I've lost 120 pounds in 2 years, I definitely would think of that as a win and meeting a good goal. If someone's watching this for motivation, number one, tomorrow is another day. And like, try to start to take into account water weight. If you're someone who uses the scale as a tool like I have, I never knew about water weight and how like you could weigh one thing one day and have lost 4 pounds the next day by eating like fairly regular, but you know, like trying to watch how much your sodium intake is and drinking a lot of water, and all of a sudden like basically you've eliminated tons of water weight. So if I've eaten not as well and see that I've gained weight, I usually know that in fact, because I have tried to make sure that certain meals were healthier, that I'm still drinking lots of water, that usually it's because I've also consumed more sodium or something. And I'll have noticed within like 2 to 3 days, all of that water weight's gone. And it's not because I'm eating like at a more extreme deficit, by no means. I'm still eating like 2,000-ish calories. Usually I try to stick between like 1,700 to like 2,100 calories. That seems to be my like sweet spot of weight loss. And I try to exercise and be active. And really like minimal, you don't have to do anything crazy. My Fitbit, I'm telling you, this thing, well, and I got a new one for my birthday. Thank you, husband and boys. It's really motivated me just to move, just to walk. And if you're able, because thankfully I'm able to move, I started out walking with my boys, and this winter I wasn't able to do as much when it started to get wet and cold and crummy out. And I was very fortunate. My husband got us a treadmill, and he didn't get anything crazy expensive. And there's tons out there online for people who've upgraded or aren't interested anymore. And I just try to use it every day. I don't really give myself a day off because there's days where you can't. Like, something's gone on unexpected, so I haven't been able to go down. And there's probably a lot more people that are way more disciplined than me, but a lot of times I'll find where I've done it every day for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then I couldn't do it one day, and I don't feel guilty because I have been down there every day for 2 or 3 weeks. And in addition to that, we had a rower in the basement that for a long time, which is a nicer one, and I've been recently adding that into my routine, along with some other workouts that I've seen like YouTubers and people on Instagram do, you know, just like arm workouts and things like that. I know that there's a lot of women who do Beachbody, which looks super promising, awesome, something that I'm not interested in right now. But if you want like a group of people to support you and workouts given to you, that's something that's an awesome option to explore. I'm just finding what works for me right now is using MyFitnessPal to track my calorie intake, my water intake. That's fine. And also using my Fitbit app, watching how many steps I'm taking, and I you know, using social media to keep myself encouraged. I watch people who are fitness gurus and influencers and what have you, but they have been really helpful to me. And like I said, I've lost 60 pounds, and I'm glad I have. I do wish that I had foregone some of the snacks so that I would have lost more, but I know that I'm down that much and that I'm still doing it and still losing weight, and so you can too. If I can do it, I feel like anybody can. You know, it's getting yourself in the mindset, like waking up in the morning and be like, today is the day. And you know what? Something happens during that day where you've eaten great and you had one thing that was bad, and don't say like, screw this, that's that. Just, you had that one thing that's bad. Whatever. The next day, you start again. That's the wonderful thing about waking up every morning. It's a new day. It's a new start. You can have 3 days of horribleness, and on that 4th day, you feel motivated, but you've been bad and you just don't know if it's worth it. It is. It's worth it. You use the motivation that you found that morning and go with it. Do it as long as you can, because over time, that mindset will change. You just have to stick with it. Not give up. Enjoy things. I mean, I still have ice cream here and there, obviously. I love chocolate. I love popcorn and chips. I just don't eat a ton of them. You know, I do my best not to. And if you've eaten well throughout the day, usually you have a pocket of calories that you could still eat and snack. I saw one person in particular who I follow on both YouTube and Instagram, and someone asked like, how do you stop snacking? And she said like, why would you want to? Exactly. Like, don't do things that make you sad. Like, if you love that snack, you know, allot yourself the amount of calories to eat it, but don't restrict yourself so much that you're miserable. Like, find alternative foods that fill you up and make you feel happy and satisfied. It's just finding the balance, and every morning waking up and starting again. Thanks for watching and supporting me. I hope everyone has a good weekend, and keep up the good work.